Hello folks, this is John Lincoln with a critical topic about scaling for startups. Unfortunately, many startups fail because of absolutely misguided notions of grandeur to scale their business. I have come up with the 7 critical scaling and expansion tactics that startups must execute to survive. My hope is that these startups that adopt these moves can hopefully reach their 7th heaven nirvana to IPO. If your scaling tactics are executed wrongly, then there is a good chance that you could end up shutting your company down. Scaling a startup is challenging as the rules of the game keep changing. These rules could change by the peculiar regulations of a country, its currency restrictions, language, nuances, access to potential customers in a new country, and many other reasons. If you are a startup entrepreneur, or if you have friends working in startups with grandiose ambitions and claims to have massive expansion plans, please share this video with them. Please also hit like and subscribe so that I can spend quality time to develop these videos that are based on my real-world experience. Scaling globally means a startup has the ability to repeat the critical aspects of its processes, workflows, and operations in different countries. A startup's product and service development process must be adaptable and repeatable. Then its onboarding, support, and trust signals like pricing and experience integrity must be reliable and guaranteed. If you are not able to execute this in every country that you are expanding to, then you will shut down your business and your investors will chalk it up to a bad investment experience. The first critical tactic that a startup can execute to expand is to choose the right priority markets. If a startup tries to expand everywhere, it would be chaotic and unrealistic. Startups need to sequence their market entry into new markets based on some prioritization framework. At the initial stage of expansion, startups will have to enter markets that are similar. These choices could enable startups to reuse as much of their core proposition, workflows, processes, and operations. Now, let us discuss the second critical scaling tactic that startups must execute to survive. Since my experiences are in the B2B segment, I will use the B2B segment to bring alive the second critical scaling and expansion tactics that startups must deploy to survive. B2B startups will have to decide if they're going to be product, sales, and/or partner-led, perhaps even a hybrid of different combinations of these. Product-led means that users can try it fast and share it widely. Sales-led means that existing market relationships exist and that the startups can win through these relationships. Then there are the distribution channels. This indirect channel strategy means that you are going to leverage a third party's trust and distribution network in the market. This second critical scaling tactic would require that a startup will have to launch with a product-led mindset in friendly markets. They should add sales and partners only as deal sizes and overall sales volumes increase. Now let us move on to the third critical scaling and expansion tactic that startups must execute to succeed in their market expansion ambitions. Startups must ensure that their pricing and packaging match local reality. In their home market, startups can get away pricing their propositions based on local competitive pricing. The way startups price their propositions in local markets must be based on local purchasing power and customer payment habits. Customers' perceptions of risk by purchasing your products and services must be considered seriously. A monthly subscription fee is accepted as normal in many countries, but in some it creates anxiety. The local customers might prefer prepaid or pay-as-you-go pricing models. For example, customers in some markets prefer prepaid. This preference is strictly to control their cash flows from week to week. A recurring subscription bill is often considered unnecessary and risky. In new markets, trust is built differently, and customers are often hesitant to commit to ongoing charges until they know that a business relationship could be trusted. The fourth tactic that startups must pay special attention to is localization. Many startups are misguided into thinking that localization means translating everything to the local language. Localization is much more than that. It is not just about changing your website into a local language. For example, your onboarding process and how your error messages are displayed should reflect local conventions. Other localization changes that startups should pay special attention to would be your currencies, refund, policy, terms, support tone, time zones, nuanced examples that you cite in your FAQs, and others. Localization must be executed so well as you would not want your customers to see strange pricing, unfamiliar payment options, and support hours that are absurd. Other examples include like paying special attention to details like phone number format, product delivery reliability, appointments, and time zones. Never let your customers in a new market think that you built the products and services for someone else. Let us move on to the next critical tactic that startups need to execute well. In many markets, if you sell anything touching customer data, finance, healthcare, or education, you will face regulatory scrutiny. This might not just be limited to data protection and or consumer rights rules, and often could include stringent data residency rules as well. This fifth tactic of regulatory compliance in new markets that you are expanding to can bode well for the first mover entering the market. If founders can execute this well, it could potentially be used as an advantage and preemption lever. Often, founders hear regulation and avoid it. The beauty about this is that if you move fast and execute well before others, you earn the trust of the regulators in a new market. It will also give your competitors a reason to hesitate or do a later entry into this market. Now, we come to the sixth critical tactic that must be executed flawlessly. Operations management for new markets must reflect the ground realities. The operational workflow must be redesigned just like how you would develop a new product or service. Most startups miserably fail in this aspect of their market expansion and scaling plans. They often start and scale revenue and keep operations duct-taped as if nothing needs to be changed. Their new customer acquisitions and temporary growth will then magnify every operational issue and weaknesses that these startups have. The seventh and last, but not least, critical scaling and expansion tactic that startups must execute before they possibly cease to exist is to hire locals with real authority. Startups must give the local hires authority to address customer issues. In other words, give your local hires a shared playbook. Many startups pretend to hire a country manager and give them fancy titles without giving them any meaningful power. The so-called country manager often end up becoming a messenger that is trapped between headquarters and the local market team. Startups must give locally hired leaders the tools, budget, and the ability to execute fast so that they can serve their local customers better. Now that we have completed all of the 7 critical scaling and expansion tactics, startups need to realize that global dominance does not happen by simply being present in many countries. The startup business model must be differentiated and must solve customer issues. In other words, any business model to truly expand and succeed must have a unique value proposition. So let us recap the 7 critical scaling tactics that startups must execute so as not to perish away. Number 1, startups have to pick the right expansion sequence and choose 1 or 2 markets that look like their home market. Number 2, startups need to build a repeatable go-to-market engine. Number 3, startups need to localize for trust. And remember that localization is not just language. Number 4, startups need to match pricing and billing to local buying capabilities and payment behaviors. Number 5, startups need to view regulatory compliance as a market leverage and a growth mode to keep your competitors away for some time. Number 6, startups need to standardize their operations workflows like how they would for a product. If they do not do this, Any growth in the market will be short-lived and an utter failure. Number 7, startups must enable local hires, a shared playbook, so that they can serve their local customers better. There you have it, the 7 expansion tactics that will save a startup from having to shut down. If this hit home, or if you think that some startup founders can benefit from this, please like the video, subscribe, comment, and share. This is John Lincoln signing off with a profound thought for startups to consider. Some startup founders need to rethink their powerful market, expansion, and conquering notions. They need to remind themselves that they have to earn the permission of their customers to enter into any market. Remember that customers will only give that permission to a select few. For starters, the company's products and services must be reliable and meet a unique need. Goodbye.